were there certain characteristics that you looked for in children before molesting them?
In children, yes, but more I also looked at their families. If I thought the father was a threat, I would not approach the child.
In modern day society, men are taught masculinity is dangerous and it is a mental disease that they need to eradicate from their minds. This is the exact reason why men need to double down and strive to become a masculine role model for their family, their friends, and for society as a whole. If we look at countries in the world where masculinity is pushed to the wayside, you will notice they are crumbling. Countries are falling, politics is in a shambles, and countries such as South Korea are seeing all-time record low birth rates of 0.72 births per woman. From that interview you can see that the demand for a masculine man with a masculine frame is at an all-time high, while supply is at an all-time low. If you're ready to put a burden on yourself and become a man that may not be appreciated, I know it's hard to say this, but you may not be appreciated, but you'll be respected by other men and you'll be respected by the society which you saved by playing your role. Cancel out any distractions right now and keep watching on. When it comes to building a masculine frame that demands respect, I will be giving you guys 10 tips which I personally use within my life and steps that I highly recommend you guys to implement no matter how old you are. Preferably if you're younger, the first tip will be a lot easier for you. However, let's keep watching on. But before we get into the tips, I'll be showing you a few more benefits as to why I believe building a masculine frame is one of the most important things a man can do within his life. So, why should you desire to build a masculine frame? A few of the benefits. It commands instant respect. So instantly, you are perceived as someone who people should be respecting, and you are instantly perceived as somebody who is confident and knows exactly what they should be doing within their life. That comes with benefits, so it comes with pros, but also comes with cons, because automatically you are seen as someone who responsibility is put on. You are seen as somebody who has to take leadership. But I believe as a man, every single one of us should be prepared to take that role up, because eventually, when you have the desire to be married, you'll be married, or you'll be have a girlfriend who you are going to be in charge of and be the leader of. You will have the authority over that person to ensure that their life goes in the correct direction. And you should be prepared for that, and you should not be afraid of that. Additionally, it makes you more attractive to women. There's the benefit there as well. I'm not someone who really chases after attraction and says, okay, I'm going to change my life and make my life to a certain degree and alter myself to ensure that I'm as attractive as I possibly can be to women. However, it is still an important thing, and you do want to attract women. You don't really want to be attracting men as well, I hope. Swing where your way, but please, swing towards women if you're a man watching this. Additionally, it increases your social and business value. So, as I said before, about commanding instant respect, automatically you'll be seen as somebody who people want to work with. Automatically, you'll be seen as somebody who people just want to be around. Automatically, you'll be seen as the person who people look up to if you have a masculine frame. Let's say you are a flimsy, skinny person, or let's say you are a fat person. It's going to be quite hard for someone to respect you without knowing you. But when you have a shredded physique or a good physique or a masculine frame, for example, it is more likely people will look at you and respect you. I'm pretty sure there's like that infamous quote where if you are a bald, fat guy getting out of a car, if you are a skinny guy with glasses getting out of like a Lamborghini or an expensive car, they think you're just a tech dude. But let's say you are a bold, in shape man, they're going to think you're some mafia boss jumping out of that car. Who are people going to respect more initially, the tech guy or the mafia boss? Most likely the mafia boss. Finally, it increases self-respect and inner confidence. So naturally, I'm only as confident as I am right now, and I believe the majority of the men who you look up to, the majority of the role models in the society who have a masculine frame, only feel the way they feel because of their physique. Of course, there's your achievements, but alongside of it, your physique is something that can't be bought. I can't buy a good physique. You can't buy a masculine frame. It has to be earned. It has to be earned from you doing the hard work and going into the gutter and going past and overcoming any mental belief that you had against yourself. Any limiting belief you had has to be destroyed, and it can only be done within the gym. And of course, there's other tips that are there to help you have that masculine frame, or at least for it to be shown. But the be all and end all is that you have to go into the gym. You have to go to the place where you probably don't want to go, and do the work there. So, tip number 1 is bulk. Every man should spend his teenage years bulking. Eventually, you have to bulk, front load it, and get out of the way. And I've said this because no one believes, or most people have not seen me looking like that. The majority of people have seen me looking like this for my videos, but nobody knows that I look like this for about 6 to 7 months, I believe. Maybe it was a year, because I'm pretty sure I bulked for a very long time. But I started off like this, and then I went to this, and now I'm this. And this was actually a picture I took, I think, 2 to 3 months ago. So I truly believe right now I look better because I've been doing more cardio, training a lot harder. I just progressively progressed forward since then. But that's how I look now. And it took for me to bulk for me to get here. You can do the thing that a lot of people do nowadays, which is they just go straight from wherever they are, get themselves into the gym for about 3 to 4 weeks, and then they cut. Now, depending on what your starting ground is, if let's say you are extremely overweight, I understand you want to cut, or you want to get yourself into a position where you can say, okay, I've lost the fat, that's probably your main goal. But if you most likely started the way I started, and you are a skinny kid, or you are skinny fat, bulk. Don't even think about it, bulk. And lean bulk. Don't do an aggressive, what's that thing called? Dirty bulk. Don't do that to yourself. Do a lean bulk. Do it for 2 to 3 years. A steady, nice lean bulk. If you can't do it for 2 to 3 years, do it for at least 1 year. I know it sounds long, but you're going to have to bulk eventually if you want a masculine frame. If you don't care about having a masculine frame, do whatever works for you. Do whatever you think is the right thing to do. But from somebody who's done it, I will say to you, bulk, and bulk from now. Of course, the hard part is it's you who's the one actually bulking. So when it hits 3 a.m. and you are not hungry, but you are so far behind your calories that you have to eat, if you're bulking because Dearenee said for you to bulk, you most likely won't bulk. But I want you to stir up that desire for you to actually bulk. Because not only will it improve your physique, it will just make your life better. You'll be a lot bigger. You'll be a lot more fit. So bulk. A man with broad shoulders and a developed physique automatically appears more dominant. And it's the truth. Let me go back. Who do you think looks more dominant? Younger me or me now? Who would you rather not get into an argument with? Who would you rather be around? Him or him? Every single person in their right mind is most likely going to say him. Because he looks like someone who can protect someone. He looks like someone who can stand on his own 2 feet and stand on his ground. He looked a lot more dominant. Now, I don't know a person who would not aspire to be more dominant, unless you're a woman and feminine. But as a man, I believe you should automatically desire to be more dominant. So, train your shoulders, train your physique, get a fit physique. I think a lot of people have looked at the anime world and taken out some certain physiques, such as Baki, such as, what's his name, Toji, such as, Garo, or Goro. The guy from One Punch Man, I don't really know his name. But you look at these physiques and you say, wow, these are my dream physiques. But they are it's just because they are shoulder dominant physiques. They have amazing arms, they have built upper backs, they have built broad physiques. Of course, genetics comes into it, so it's hard for people to be like, okay, my genetics are holding me back. I can't get a aesthetic physique, or I can't get a broad physique. But if you look at me, I look like a brick house here, and I look like a brick house here. But me now, of course, in this photo is not as good. I think there's a photo later on which would show a lot better. But I have a more broadened physique. I have more of a crowbar physique now, where I look more like I have the V-taper, because of how much I've trained my upper back and trained my lats. So, bulk. Just bulk. More muscle mass leads to a better posture and a greater physical presence, which naturally demands respect. If you go back to my past video, I can't remember what the title is. I think it was around master presentation or something like that. Literally, most likely the video before this video, I spoke about presence, and I'll be speaking about presence throughout this video as well. But presence is very important. It's something that you should be focusing on and saying, okay, then I'm going to strive to improve my presence. Because if you improve your presence, it will improve your presentation to the world. If you improve your presentation to the world, you'll be somebody who just earns respect naturally. Additionally, bulking should be done strategically to avoid excess fat. So I think here I did take it a little bit far. This could be seen as a good bulk because you can still see my abs a bit. I think you can see a little bit of vein in the arm. I don't know if that's stretch mark or vein, but this was a pretty good bulk. I was tracking here, but my first ever bulk, I don't have a picture of it. I just dirty bulked. I ate anything that I could see, chicken and chips, chicken wraps. I remember this was when I was in secondary school, so I was going to, sixth form. I was going to the chicken and chip shops near my sixth form, going there, munching. It wasn't good food. My face got extremely puffy. Of course, your face can get more puffy when you're in an excess fat load. But additionally, you don't want to put on so much excess fat because when it's time for you to be cutting, you're going to have to cut that fat anyway. So why not just prioritize getting the protein in, build on some lean muscle, and when you come to cut, you can cut any excess fat from there. And it'll be a lot less fat that you'll be cutting off. Tip number 2, progressively overload or progressive overload. So lifting heavier weights over time makes you physically stronger and mentally disciplined, both key traits of a masculine frame. Enough times, actually, if you look on the picture on the right, I did not feel like lifting 120. And the main reason why is I haven't lifted 120. I think I was going for 2 reps. So this is my first rep, easy. I think the second rep was a lot more struggle. Dwayne, who's the guy in the back, had to help me. If you look at that man, by the way, he is a 40-year-old man, turning 40, I think, next week or next month. And that man has one of the most insane physiques I've seen in my life. That is someone who you look up to. Look at it. Look at the man. That is someone who you look up to. Of course, he's got his pump cover on, so it's not really doing him justice. If you see him, you will say you want to look like him by the time you're 40. I want to look like him by the time I'm 40. Trust me when I say that. And if you look at my physique now, it says a lot. By the time I want to stay like that. Looking like that at like 30, it's impressive, obviously, to society standards. But when you go to the gym, it's not. But at 40, looking like that, now is something. So you want to strive to look like that. But I didn't want to lift that. There's enough times when I go to the gym, I don't want to lift certain weights. But I do it, not even for the physical strength that comes from it. It's the mental discipline gained from there. Because when you go to the gym, a lot of the time it's a mental battle. And you're like, I don't want to be here, but I will come because I know it's the right thing to do. You are tackling that discipline inside of you. You're tackling whether saying, okay, will I do it or will I not do it? One of my favorite quotes is, who are you? Goggins said this. Who are you on the days when you don't want to do things? On the days when you don't want to go to the gym? On the days when you don't want to crunch iron? On the days when you don't want to get things done? Who are you? Are you still the same person as the person who does the things on the days when you want to do it? You have to think about these things. When I'm on cardio, I have this in my ear. I'm saying, who is Dearenee? When Dearenee doesn't want to do things, who is Dearenee? He has to be the same person. As much as I don't want to be the same person, he has to be the same person. He has to stay disciplined. He has to keep going and he has to keep crunching. And one of my favorite things I even say to myself, I'm not even chasing a pump anymore. I'm chasing results. And one of the results comes from that mental win. I couldn't even care about getting big. Of course, to a certain degree, yes, I do care about getting bigger. But my biggest thing isn't even getting bigger anymore. It's about that having that mental strength and saying, okay, when I don't want to do things, when I don't want to do it, I will still get it done. And having that command and that strength over your physique and over your flesh and over your body, that's what you want to strive for. Strength creates confidence, and people respect those who appear capable and powerful. I was not as confident as I was before I started going to the gym. And it's not one of those big egotistical, I'm not like that. Of course, when I started, it was a little bit like that. Now I've humbled myself down by the grace of God. But yeah, it's increased my confidence. It's made me a lot more proud of myself. Even I posted a video when I was doing cardio. I had the duffel bag on my shoulder. Because I don't know, I was watching a lot of military recently. I don't know what's going on in my head, man. There's too much test. I've been looking at too many military edits right now. And I was like, nah, I even watched Outdoor Boys on YouTube. And he was doing some military training. I don't know if this was a recent video. But he was doing military training. And I said, I'm not going past my limits. There's a certain level of real when training I haven't gone to yet. So I said, okay, I'm going to do cardio with a duffel bag on my shoulder. And I was like, I can't do this. 5 minutes in, I said, just go to 10 minutes. 10 minutes in, I'm like, you know what? You've already done 10 minutes. Just go to 15. Halfway there, and then you can jump off. 50 minutes in, I'm like, I'm basically here, Bunny. Let me just do 20 minutes. 20 minutes come, I'm like, okay, there's 10 minutes left. Just do 5 more minutes. I did 5 more minutes. I'm like, just do 5 more minutes. Sadly, I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. I'm pretty sure I was blind from 20 minutes onwards. So from 26 minutes, basically 27 minutes, I put the bag down, did the last couple of minutes without the bag on, and just did regular incline walks. But I took a picture and I was like, Dearenee, I am proud of you. Speaking to myself, saying I'm proud of myself, because even though I didn't do the whole 30 minutes as I would have liked to, it was my first time doing it, and I kept going through even though I wanted to quit from the 5th minute. Mentally, I wanted to quit like 6 times there. 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So many times there, I wanted to quit. But I didn't. Until the point when I quit. But by then, I had so many results. I pushed past how many times. And I got to where I wanted to get to. So, allow yourself to conquer the weight you never could. so you could conquer limiting beliefs in your life. A lot of the times where I've gone and done things, like I have a saying, I haven't said it on the channel for a long time, but I truly believe in my mind, with enough time and enough mistakes, I can master anything I put my mind towards. And that comes from me destroying limiting beliefs within my life. And one of the things that's helped me do that is progressively overloading the gym, lifting heavier than I did last time. It sounds simple because it is. Something as simple as this will drastically change your life. So progressively overload. Tip number 3, train neck. Now we're probably going to blitz through these ones because the rest of the tips is a lot more easier said than done, and not easier said than done, a lot more easier to understand and actually start to implement in your life. So train neck. A thickened neck signals resilience and power, making a man appear more intimidating and less vulnerable alongside increasing your attraction. So if you was to look at these people, so for example, even myself, my neck's not too crazy, but this is how my neck used to look. My head used to look a lot more bigger than it looks now. But because I've trained neck, even to the point my neck's not even looking crazy right now. If I look at that, I don't know how many inches it is, but my neck's not looking kind of crazy. But I'm going to continue to keep training it. But look at that and then look at that. Which person looks more confident? Which person looks more attractive? Which person looks more dominant? Of course, you're going to choose recent me, I hope. If you look at these two people, which person looks more attractive? Which person looks more dominant? Look at this person here. Oh, let me go back. Look at this person here. I don't know his name. I'm pretty sure he's an actor or something. But look at his neck here, and then look at his neck here. Here, this person's jock, movie star. Look at him as well. I forgot his name as well. It's gone. I'm never going to remember it. Model, movie star. This guy, regular normal person who has pretty good facial features, but there's not really much going on because he has no neck. Same here, same here, same here. So a weak and skinny neck can make an otherwise strong physique look less commanding. So if you have poor neck, if your neck is not trained, if your neck's not looking dominant or thick, it will most likely ruin your physique. So train your neck and your masculine frame will come. Number 2, train legs. Now, so many people skip legs. Even myself, I was a hard advocate for skipping legs. My old split used to be push, pull, rest, push, pull, rest, push, pull. That's it. How many days is that? 6? No. It was, if I even say it differently, push, pull, skip, rest, push, pull, skip. I used to skip legs every single time. I didn't want to do it. I understand it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. But the bottom part, which I have written here, is the victory from the mental battle of a leg day is imperative to continuously grow as a man. Do not skip runs, leg day, or cardio. Those are 3 things you do not avoid, because leg training is so mentally taxing and physically taxing, but it is one of the most important things as a man you can be doing. So many men like to avoid leg day. I know it's a trend. I've seen it. I was a part of it. But it's not a trend that you should be allowed to implement within your life. Try and avoid it. Train legs as frequently as you possibly can. Currently, I'm doing it twice a week. I'm doing one progressively overloaded bodybuilding leg day. And then I do strength and conditioning. And on my strength and conditioning days, I do leg days there. Alongside of that, I do my cardio. Alongside of that, I do, even for example, my accessory days, I train my calves on that day. So you want to try and spread out your leg training as much as possible to ensure your legs get trained. Even for example, look at the pictures on the bottom. The person on the left and the person on the right. Which physique looks better? It's the same thing as training neck. If you don't train your legs, your physique is going to look a lot worse. So ensure you train your legs and your physique will look more dominant. I don't even know what one me on, but posture. You want to ensure you have a straight posture, because straight posture instantly increases your perceived dominance. So let's say, for example, in this photo of me on the left, I was slouching down and I was, looking down at my shoes with my back like, if you come on camera now, my back like this, or look at me, my back was like that. The photo would not look even half as good, not even a quarter as good. But because I have a dominant physique right there, I'm completely straight up. I just look like I know exactly what I'm doing. I look like that's my house. It looks like an amazing, it's kind of weird when you're boosting your own ego like this. But I couldn't find another picture. Actually, I did. Alexander the Great at the bottom. Look at Alexander the Great. This only looks as good because he is looking down at us and he is standing straight up with a straight posture. His shoulders are retract, as it says here, shoulder retraction and spinal alignment. He's standing tall with his head held. Well, his head's not really held high. If it was level, I think his head would be a lot more higher. But stand tall with your head held high, and face the world. I don't want you guys to be slouching. I don't want you guys to be looking down at the ground. I don't want you guys to be looking nervous, because if you've even seen the movies, the person who, or let's say for example, they like to portray the character who's more nervous, shy, weak. They make the person, for some reason, wear glasses, but alongside of that, they're looking down on the ground, they're looking nervous, they don't hold eye contact, they're avoiding these things. So what you need to be doing is ensuring that your posture is of the posture of a dominant man. So stand straight up and face the world. Next one, jawline. Now I haven't put myself here with David Gandhi and Cameron, I think it's Albozone or something like that, to say I'm a model. I'm far from it. I'm hard getting mugged right now. However, I want to show you that I myself, I don't have a crazy physique. I don't have a crazy jawline. I don't. David Gandhi, well, I think he was voted the world's most attractive man at a point in time. His jawline isn't even crazy. Of course, now if you look at Cameron's, yeah, that's a whole nother, it's a whole nother boat that we're in right now. But I've seen people on TikTok with better jawlines than his. But he's still seen as a dominant man and a masculine man. So I'm not saying you need to be on the super model level for jawlines, but just have something there. So a sharp jawline amplifies facial masculinity, makes you look more assertive and disciplined. Especially because if your jawline is sharp, people have to be perceived as someone who has a good diet and someone who's disciplined, because your habits reflect within your face. If you have a horrible sleeping pattern, you will see it in your face. If you have a horrible diet, you will see it in your face. You can see these two men here. They most likely have amazing diets, they are well nutritioned, and they get good night's sleep most nights. If they didn't, you would see it. So I've said, shave your beard or have it leveled down to your face. Now this is something which I've done. Before I used to have such a big beard, and my skin was horrible underneath my beard, but I didn't know this. I had a horrible jawline as well, but I didn't know this until I shaved my beard. So I shaved it, and then I done the work. Of course, afterwards you can do it then and have the beard there, but I've kept it at a lower level because I think it looks a lot better. And I've looked at David Gandhi, not in this photo because it's quite lower, but I've seen in other ones where he's taken photos, his beard is to the point where it's a little bit higher, or even Cameron, or if you look at a lot of models who keep this stubble, they keep it at such a level where it actually amplifies their jawline to make it look better, alongside of them having a beard, so it just looks to have that more masculine look from having a beard. So lower body fat, mewing, and jaw exercises can help enhance definition. So I have this jaw trainer here. You can barely see it, but it's the thing that you put in your mouth and you chew it. What I like to do is put it at the front, and I'll even show you right now. I put it at the front, put it here, and that is simple. You do it as frequently as you possibly want to. You don't have to do it, but it helps. Alongside training neck actually helps you with your jawline, I believe. Well, I just feel like it does. I don't have no science to back it up. That's pure bro science. I just feel like it does. Alongside of that, I have a mouth guard, and I bite down on my mouth guard sometimes when I'm doing cardio. That will also help you there. So train your jawline, and it will help your masculine physique come into frame. Additionally, controlled stress and emotional stability. So when I talk about a masculine frame, I'm not only just talking about the way you look, I'm also talking about the way you react, the way you act, and the way you are perceived. When it comes to building a masculine frame, emotional stability and emotional control is imperative and crucial. So a man who can handle pressure without reacting emotionally commands respect. And the quote I wanted to give you is, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it, what matters. That matters, by Epictetus. So he's basically saying, you should ensure that you control your reactions and ensure you control your emotions, because practically everyone goes through things. No one in this life really has an easy life. Everyone goes through things. The only difference is how you deal with the things that you go through. You either look at those things as wins and losses, or you look at those things as wins and learnings, and you learn from the things that will be seen as losses, and allow that to be implemented into your life. Control your emotions. Have emotional intelligence. Sit there and reflect with yourself when you go through things and be like, hold on, I'm going through this right now. Why do I feel like this? Okay, I feel like this because of this. Okay, let me calm down, embrace this emotion. Okay, now I'm going to move on. And as I use this photo here, the rage boat photo, because it's one of the funniest photos, because it can be seen as the person who has a small brain is the one shouting, and the person who has a big brain is the one who's not even reacting. And it's the exact same thing that can be seen as in our common world. If you see someone shouting, see someone making a fuss, see somebody overreacting, you most likely think that person is not smart, they're not somebody you want to be around, you don't usually respect them. But the person who's more quiet, more aloof, more stoic, you respect that person a lot more. So, control your stress and your emotional stability. Additionally, slow, deliberate movements. Moving with purpose and control rather than fidgeting or rushing signals self-mastery and authority. So when I was in school, one thing I'm even going to talk about here, which is stop the leg twitches and excessive movement. It doesn't look respectable. When I was in school, I used to sit the same way this person's sitting. I used to sit there and put my foot up, and I don't know what it's called when you put your foot on the top of your, like, the top part of your foot. But I put my foot up and then do that twitching thing when your legs went like that. And to me, I was like, oh, this is like, it's a normal thing to do. I don't even know why. I used to think it looks cool. People are going to look at me and think, oh, he's doing that twitching thing. It looks cool. But as you grow up, you start to realize it looks like you're anxious. It looks like you're not confident in your surrounding, in your experiences. It's just not a good look. So if you're a 30-year-old man and you still do that, what do you think the people around you are going to be looking at you like? If you're even 20 and you want to be seen as somebody who's older, you want to be respected, you have to cut it out. Eye contact and presence. So I've spoken about presence in the previous video. I don't think I spoke about eye contact. I might have, but eye contact and presence. So mastering direct eye contact and being fully present in interactions makes you command respect effortlessly. You'll be perceived as confident. You'll perceive as confident and reassured in any situation if you maintain eye contact while speaking and focusing on the interaction. So these are two photos. This is me and Prince. I believe the majority of you might know who Prince is. If not, this is one of my very, very close friends. And then this is me holding eye contact with someone. It was actually me recording a video. I think I was having eye contact with somebody. I don't know if it was Prince or somebody else. I screenshotted the photo. But eye contact is very, very crucial. If I was recording to you guys and I was talking like this and we was having a conversation, you guys are watching a video, and for the whole time I spoke like this, you probably wouldn't even listen or care about what I'm saying. Because you're thinking, why is he looking over there? He doesn't even respect me enough to look me dead in my eyes. But as I come and look to you guys, there's a lot more respect there. When you are having conversations with people, if they're constantly looking over here, or they're constantly looking down, it's hard for you to respect that person because they don't seem confident in the conversation. But the people who will look at you, hold eye contact, and stay reassured within that situation, in that interaction, you most likely respect those people. So master that. Master that eye contact. Whether you sit there and record yourself and go and just watch the video of yourself. I know it sounds crazy, or an easy thing which I've heard other people do. And actually, I believe I did this as well because when I was younger, I'm going to say this truthfully, I used to struggle to hold eye contact with girls who I found attractive. Now, it's going to sound very weird from here. It's going to sound very, very weird from here. But to practice on that, I used to practice with people who were older than me and people who I didn't really find attractive. And people who were family friends, for example. Or even, for example, elderly people. When you're just on the street or having a conversation with an elderly person, you hold eye contact with that person. And when you practice that, you're like, hold on a minute, there's actually nothing for you to be afraid of. So you practice with this person and you translate it to the people who you are most likely afraid to hold eye contact with. It's a natural thing to hold eye contact with people, and it's also a normal thing that you can maybe be anxious in doing stuff you've never done before. If you're talking to somebody you may find attractive and you've never really held eye contact with these people, you're most likely going to struggle. If you're not used to holding eye contact with people, you're most likely going to struggle. So try and get as much practice as you can with people who you don't struggle to hold eye contact with, and then implement it into that same situation and scenario. Because they're human at the end of the day. If not, just imagine them pooing. It will help you a lot more. Next, a strong grip and a handshake. A firm handshake signals strength and dominance, while a weak one destroys first impressions. So, instantly for myself, if I shake someone's hand and there's a firm handshake, instantly they gain respect from me. But now let's say I shake someone's hand and I come in like this with a full girthy handshake and I get this. I'm like, come on, man, what's going on? It's not natural. So when I see that, instantly I'm like, oh, it's hard for me to respect this person initially. I have to hear what you're saying, and now you start off with a bad first impression. That's it, with a bad first impression. But you come in with a strong handshake, you look me confident in your eyes, and you say to me your name. Like, for example, I'll go up to people, I'll be like, oh, nice to meet you, Dearenee, boom, 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 bang, done. Or I'll even enact it. Let's say you're somebody who I don't know, I'm talking to a friend over here, bang, nice to meet you, I'm Dearenee, what's your name? Oh, it's lovely to meet you, thank you, bang. How can you not look at that person and be reassured and have confidence and respect to that person? You can't. It's impossible. So ensure you implement that into your life. And then, bonuses. So I've already flown through this. I've given you the 10 tips already. But some bonuses which you can do: confidence, fashion, and articulation. So I'm not going to talk about articulation because I spoke about it in the last video, and I'm not going to talk about confidence because I believe I spoke about it in the last video as much. But fashion, dress well. I am going to the gym right now. If you looked at me, you wouldn't think I'm going to the gym. I am going to the gym. That's it. I'm going to the gym, then I'll come back home. I'll probably record another video or plan another video. That's it. I have my gym bag, my gym clothes, my gym bag. It's not even a gym bag, it's my leather bag. I can't bother to show you guys, but my leather bag over there. But that's it. I'm going to the gym and I'm coming home. It is about dressing well as frequently as you possibly can. And I spoke about this in the last video. But one of my friends, me and her were at, in Paris, and we were talking about Parisian culture. And I said, one of the things I love is the fact that people dress amazing in Paris. And she said the main reason is because you never know who you will see. And you never know who you'll be around. So why are you going to choose to not dress well? Dress well. Of course, it's a little bit longer, it takes a little bit more effort, and the only time you shouldn't really be doing it is if you're extremely tired, you just have no reason to at all. Like, I wouldn't put on a three-piece suit, I wouldn't wear this, like this whole entire outfit to go to the corner shop. But because I know I'm going somewhere where people will see me, I have to present myself in a way that I want people to see me. It's about mastering that perception. And that is the main thing. That is the bonuses right there. And as a recap for everything: bulk, increase your size; progressively overload; strength builds respect; train neck, it enhances dominance, it will make you more attractive, it will completely round your physique. Alongside training legs, it will completely round your physique. Posture, stand up tall and face the world. Jawline, it's a symbol of masculinity. You want to have a dominant jawline and a carved out jawline. If it's not that carved out, at least have something there. Controlled stress and emotional stability. Stoicism commands respect. You want to be aloof. You want to be calm in the majority of situations which you are inside of. Slow and deliberate movements. So you don't want to be someone who's consistently jerking or shaking all the time. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be calm, controlled, collected with your movements. Eye contact and presence. Unshakable presence. You want to have a presence that when people just see you or they're around you, they feel like you are somebody who they should be around and you'll be respected. And a strong grip and handshake. First impressions matter. If you have a weak handshake, just throw the first impressions out the door. And then confidence, fashion, articulation, it is to complete the masculine frame. You will have all these things. You will have the confidence. You will have the clothing. If you put on some nice clothes alongside having the frame, you will have that full masculine frame and be asserting dominance and have the respect which you are searching afterwards. Thank you for watching today's video, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and click the like button below. Alongside of that, I want you to comment down your favorite tip that you will definitely be working on to implement within your life. And finally, I want you to join my free school community. Join inside, have a conversation with me inside. I'm trying to have a brotherhood inside of there. So, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.